to today at approximately 1 p.m., the Fulton County Grand Jury started to examine the facts in this case. And approximately 40 minutes ago, they returned an indictment. And in the indictment, they charged two individuals, one being the director of the program of the Childhood Learning Center, and her name is Terry Ann Clark. And she was charged in the indictment with one count of involuntary manslaughter and one count of reckless conduct. Also, the grand jury brought an indictment against Mary Beth Wansley, who is the owner of the program that Benjamin was participating in on that day. And she was charged with one count of operating without a license. That is a misdemeanor. The charge of negligence, reckless conduct is also a misdemeanor, but the involuntary manslaughter is a felony that carries a sentence of 1 to 10 years.
And this indictment carries a message. You were saying that's why your office took this on for this little boy. Well, after some extensive investigation by our office and the police department from Chattahoochee Hills, it became clear that the employees had noticed that this child had the propensity to walk away from their instruction. But even after receiving notice, apparently they took no measures to improve the supervision or the monitoring of this child. So that led to the child striking his head and falling into the water there. But even after the child had fallen unconscious and was laying there drowning, it took an unreasonable time just to locate the child. And for that reason, we believe the grand jurors decided that these defendants, that both should be indicted.
I have a couple of questions. What kind of impact do you think a decision like this can have on other parents and other children in day camps and in daycares? Because a lot of people are going to be going, there this summer.
Well, I think the thing that the Hosches wanted people to know is that if you're going to take the responsibility of keeping a child, you've got to take that responsibility seriously, because we know that children run. They don't recognize dangers in the same way that an adult would. So if you're going to charge people to keep a child, then what this ought to say is that you've got to watch a child, particularly when you receive notice that the child might wander away.
And how did you know who to charge and with what charges? There were a lot of people involved, a lot of counselors, a lot of different positions within Cochran Mill Nature Center and Camp Cricket.
Well, we looked at the folks who would have been in charge, the persons who would have been given direction, and that's why these two parties appeared to be the persons that were responsible.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Would you all like to
Yeah. Overall, it's a big day for child day camps and summer camps in the state of Georgia. Hopefully they will follow suit and all get regulated by the state and get licensed. We're beyond proud of the district attorney and his whole team, and Pat, who led today. That's why I always say it matters who your elected officials are, because people can get denied justice all the time. But this family, for once, is going to get the justice they need, because an apology in this situation wasn't going to fix it. A 5-year-old is dead, and other kids in the state were in danger. Apologies weren't going to fix it. So it's not a happy day. We're not rejoicing, but at least they're getting justice.
If you could just give me your thoughts, your feelings, especially going through today. I know it was a very, very long day, and what came out of today.
It was definitely long, emotional, draining day. But at the end of everything, the end of the day, it was worth it. And I'll do it, all over again for my son, because he deserved this justice. He was a kind boy, and we feel robbed. We do.
How are you doing?
I mean, I think at this moment right now, we're just going through it, as any parent who loses a child, especially as it's hard. It's really hard. But with the support of our family and friends, we're able to go through it. And I'm just happy that hopefully, I'm praying that this situation and what's going on and with this indictment, that other children will not have to be in jeopardy. Other parents won't have to feel what we feel right now, and that maybe the death of our son can save thousands, if not millions, of other children.
Yeah, definitely echoing what my wife was saying. We're not happy, but we do feel like the process is working, and that's a good thing. I feel like the community understood. I think everyone has kids and they get it, how important our kids are to us. And through this process, I just feel like everyone now is understanding that you have to take accountability and responsibility for everything you do.
Absolutely.
You talked before about Kamau. Tell us about him, for those of us who never got to meet him.
Many words, all-star, my greatest helper. I relive that all the time. The times he's been working on a car with me, the sense of pride he feels with just having assisted his dad. So those few phrases, they don't sum up Kamau, but they're a big part of who he was. How amazing he is, you don't get until you meet him. And everyone who's met him, they come away with that same feeling. Amazing kid, not to be forgotten, always loved.
There is grieving in your family, and there's also a blessing to come. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
I mean, we're just...
This happiness and joy coming for us
It's happiness.
soon.
Yeah. Expecting another child, so pretty soon, and just a beautiful blessing.
It is.
It is a beautiful blessing, and we're excited about it. We're excited to extend our family. Of course, it's a saddened joy, because if anyone would have met our oldest son, he always wanted more brothers and sisters. So it's a saddened joy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.